beyond the gallop. The true workhorses of the West. When you picture the Wild West, what comes to mind? A lone cowboy riding a galloping Mustang across endless plains, perhaps firing a revolver at a distant outlaw. That's the cinematic version, but the reality is far more complex. Horses were vital, yes, but they were only one piece of a vast animal network that enabled humans to thrive in harsh, untamed territories. Today, we're uncovering the hidden heroes, the oxen that hauled massive loads across plains, the mules navigating treacherous mountain paths, and the loyal dogs that guarded, hunted, and comforted settlers. Imagine crossing hundreds of miles of unforgiving terrain, facing unpredictable weather, scarce food, and constant threats from wild animals without the aid of these steadfast companions. Oxen and mules weren't glamorous or fast, but their endurance and intelligence made human survival possible. Dogs were often the first line of defense, and their loyalty created emotional bonds that carried families through isolation. As we explore these unsung animal partnerships, ask yourself, could the Wild West have been built without them? The answer will surprise you, and by the end of this story, you'll never look at the frontier the same way. But don't forget to subscribe to Western Tales Official for more hidden stories of the American West. Oxen. The powerhouses of the plains oxen were the true engines of the frontier. Unlike horses, which were prized for speed, oxen were prized for their raw strength, patience, and ability to pull heavy loads across difficult terrain. Settlers relied on teams of oxen to transport wagons laden with supplies, food, and sometimes even entire households. Their slow pace may have seemed frustrating, but it was a strategic advantage when moving through mud, sand, or uneven prairie soil. Oxen also helped break the sod, preparing the land for crops in regions where manual labor alone would have been impossible. Many teamsters treated their oxen as family members, developing bonds of trust through years of shared hardship. Stories from diaries of pioneers frequently mention oxen recognizing their handlers, responding to subtle cues, and even seeming to sense danger. Without these gentle giants, westward expansion would have been exponentially slower and far more dangerous. So the next time you envision frontier survival, remember these massive patient creatures were the unsung architects of progress. Mules, the multi-talented mountain movers, if oxen were the backbone of flatland travel. Mules dominated the mountains. Born from a horse and a donkey, mules combined intelligence, stamina, and sure-footedness, making them ideal for navigating narrow trails, rocky paths, and steep inclines. Miners, traders, and explorers depended on mules to carry supplies where wagons couldn't venture. Their stubbornness was legendary, but what appeared as obstinacy was often intelligence and caution, traits that saved human lives. Mules could carry heavier loads than horses while requiring less food and water, and their adaptability made them indispensable in unpredictable wilderness terrain. Anecdotes abound of mules sensing landslides, avoiding unstable paths, and even refusing dangerous work in ways that seemed eerily perceptive. Their contributions went far beyond transportation. They were strategic partners in survival, quietly shaping the success of countless frontier missions. Dogs, the vigilant companions and workers' dogs, played diverse roles in frontier life that extended far beyond simple companionship. Herding dogs managed livestock, protecting valuable resources from theft or predators. Guard dogs alerted families to dangers during the night, and hunting dogs assisted in securing meat essential for survival. In remote homesteads, dogs were often the first responders to emergencies, signaling intruders, tracking lost livestock, or even finding missing children. Beyond practicality, dogs provided emotional stability to settlers facing isolation, reinforcing a bond between species that was fundamental to human survival. Stories from pioneer journals highlight dogs forming attachments strong enough to mourn losses, protect young children, and remain loyal to owners even through relocation and hardship. These four-legged partners were silent witnesses to history, proving that survival in the Wild West depended on more than human ingenuity, required teamwork across species. A frontier forged by fur and feather. As we look back, it becomes clear that the American West was not only a human story, it was a story of interspecies collaboration. Oxen, mules, and dogs each contributed uniquely to the survival, expansion, and prosperity of frontier communities. These animals shaped migration patterns, supported mining endeavors, and facilitated the creation of towns and farms. Beyond practical roles, they fostered emotional resilience, social bonds, and trust that were crucial in an unforgiving environment. Reflecting on these partnerships, we see that history's unsung heroes were not always human. They were creatures whose strength, intelligence, and loyalty enabled humanity to thrive where survival seemed impossible. What other overlooked allies helped shape history? Share your thoughts in the comments, And make sure to subscribe to Western Tales Official to uncover more hidden stories from the Wild West.